Can you hear the thunder? Of course, it's thundering and raining. It has been doing that so much here in the South. Welcome to New in Books in May. So these are all the books I'm excited for. They're releasing in May. I had a different list originally, and because of the quarantine, some authors have chose to postpone their releases, or I don't know, maybe the publishers postponed them. But so I had to come up with a little bit of a different list. Some of them are still on there, but I'm excited for all these reads. They're all 5 really, really good reads. So let's get started. The first book is The Tourist Attraction, Moose Springs, Alaska, #1 by Sarah Morgenthaler. Long last name there. This comes out May 5th, 2020. Okay, so this story is about, it's a romance and it's set in Alaska, which is like right up my alley right now. I got so into like Alaskan romances last year, and earlier this year it's just fun. I don't know, I think it's because of like the seclusion. It's a lot different than like the urban society I live in now. It reminds me a bit of home too. So, because yeah, where I grew up it was a small town and it was cold. Not super small town, but anyways, that has nothing to do with this book. This book is about a girl and a guy. This is about a girl and a guy. The guy owns like kind of, I guess, I wouldn't say it was ironic, but yeah, he named his diner like the Tourist Trap, and of course a bunch of tourists come there, of course, which it just kind of disinterested him, and I think he's kind of grumpy about his position in life and like the people who come to visit him, and he's kind of over tourism. And then there's a young girl there who just wants, she has like this huge dream of being in Alaska, so this is her like one and only chance, and she's there for 2 weeks and she's so excited, and she notices him, but he could care less about her. But yeah, something happens to her, like a bit of an act of kindness. It brings her in his actual orbit, and yeah, let's hope romance ensues. It's projected as a romance novel, so this one sounded really cute. I picked this just based on the fact that it was a romance set in Alaska, honestly, but it sounded really good. It had a cute cover, and yeah. Let's go into book number 2. Book number 2 is Recipes for Persuasion, and this is the Rajas #2 by Sonali Dev, and it comes out May 26, 2020. So this is about a girl who is named Ashna, and she gets put on like a celebrity chef show and gets paired up with a celebrity who was her first love, who like ruined her. This is a book based off of Jane Austen's Persuasion, so it's the same storyline, I'm guessing, as Persuasion. The author did an incredible job with her Pride and Prejudice retelling. So in preparation for this book, because it comes out later in the end of the month, I'm going to be reading Jane Austen's Persuasion again this month, and I'm so excited for it because this was by far probably my favorite retelling of Jane Austen's story, was her first book. And I would definitely say go check it out. So I'm really excited for the second book, which involves the same exact family, I believe, and I'm excited for it. It's called Clap When You Land, and it is by Elizabeth Acevedo, and it comes out May 5th, 2020. I read her book last year, Fire and High, and it was really cute YA, really simple YA. This one sounds much more, this one sounds much more complicated, so I'm excited to read about it. This one is about a girl, 2 girls. One is living in New York City, and one is living down in the Dominican Republic, and she's so excited for her father to come meet her every time, so she goes to the airport to meet him, and he doesn't show up this time. Something has happened at that point, and everybody's crying at the airport, and she doesn't know why or what's going on. And then in New York, the other girl loses her father as well, I think. So yeah, her father has died in a plane crash, and so this guy who is the center of these 2 girls' universe, you know, getting to know him, kind of get to know people after their deaths as well, and then eventually kind of learning all his secrets, and then learning about each other. These 2 girls who are sisters who had no idea about each other, but it sounds really, really good. She did well. I really liked her for Fire and High. It was about a young girl who had like baby young and stuff, and she got in this cooking class, and it was fun, and it was easy, a simple YA read, and I'm expecting that's what this kind of will be. This one sounds a little more dramatic, but it sounds really good as well. The next book, book number 3, 4, what is this? Book 4. Book 4 is The Life of Medieval Times of Kit Sweetly by Jamie Pacton. This comes out May 5th, 2020. Kit Sweetly is a girl who works at like one of those night things. I forgot what they're called, but I've been to one before where basically I think they joust and it's like medieval times. She is a kitchen wench. She plays a kitchen wench there, but she just wants to be a knight. And the knights are all played by men. And so one time her brother doesn't show up, so she takes his place. And then at the end, you know, when the knights take off their helmet and they're revealed, everybody finds out it's a woman. She gets kind of in trouble, but this was her dream and she wants to be a knight and she wants to break down those walls and let the women's be knight as well. So it sounded like a fun, cool spin-off. I don't know, it just sounded really cool YA read to me and completely different and interesting, and I don't know. I liked Medieval Times. I guess that's what the restaurant is called. I don't think that's what the restaurant is called in this book, but yeah, it sounded really good. Sorry about all the thunder. It's really loud. The fifth and final book reminded me of 27 Dresses, so I had to put it on the list, and it is Always a Bridesmaid by Cindi Madsen. It comes out May 26, 2020. So this involves a young woman named Violet, and Violet has been a bridesmaid no less than 7 times, planning her own dream wedding, cannot wait to be a bride when her long-term boyfriend turns around, goes off with somebody else. On the day he is getting married, a fire sets in at her sister's bakery where she is at, and so when the fireman comes, she gets in a predicament where she has to explain to him like all these binders and her obsessions with being a bridesmaid, and he turns out to be a groomsman at the time, I believe, and ends up kind of employing her for help. It sounded like a really fun, lighthearted story. I thought it sounded amazing, and it reminded me of 27 Dresses in a way, so I was like, yes. I mean, it's not the same storyline at all, but it kind of had that feeling, and I was like, yeah, I'd like that in May. Something happy and light and good. And yeah, those are all the books I'm excited for in May, and I hope I get to read some of them as well as what's on my May TBR, which will be the next video coming out next. Can I speak today? So yeah, look out for that one, and don't forget to subscribe below. Tell me if you're interested in any of these books, or if you're excited for any books coming out in May that I may have missed. I do read through quite a lot of them, so I might know some of them, maybe not. But I miss them all the time. Like, I'll be so excited. I'll be like, oh my gosh, that book's coming out. And then I'll be like, oh, that book came out 2 days ago. Like, one of them I put on this list originally was supposed to come out March 30th. And they must have moved up the date to March 16th. So I couldn't put it on, or April to April 16th. It was supposed to come out April 30th. So I was going to put it in May New Books because it's the end of the month. But they moved it up to April 16th and I didn't even notice or completely missed it, so I never got to speak about it, but it was a sequel. Anyways, that was long. I will see you guys next time. See you guys next time. Bye.